guys. Today I want to talk about what we in the FRC community call the morning routine. So it's something in the morning that we can do when we get out of bed that we can start moving our joints, get our body warmed up for the day ahead. So I like to do this every morning. Sometimes I don't get it all done right away, but throughout the day I get all these movements done. I try my best to get them done in the morning, but just like everyone else, life happens sometimes and I don't always get up early enough for that to happen. But my goal most days is to get up and make sure it takes 10 minutes to get this morning routine done. We're going to move all of our joints from our head, from our neck, all the way down to our toes. So, starting out, biggest thing when we're doing these is we have to create what's called irradiation. So that's just basically tension in my whole body. When I create that, it helps me lock down the joints that I actually want to move. So if I'm wanting to move my neck, I don't want any other movement from my shoulders, my scaps. I don't want to see anything from my body popping out, anything like that. So to start out, I'm going to get two fists down to the side. I'm going to start with my neck. I'm going to tuck my chin down to my chest, keep my shoulder blades down. I'm going to look to the right, dragging my chin across my collarbone, looking into my back right pocket. I'm going to look all the way back around once I reach that end range, looking behind me. Taking it all the way to the other side, looking in my back left pocket. Now I drag my chin down across my chest. We're going to do 2 laps each way of that. So 2 laps to the right, 2 laps to the left. And at any point you get a pinching pain in the side you're going to, make sure you let off of that and go around. We never push through sticking points. If you feel a stretch on the opposite side, say I'm looking to my left, and I feel a stretch over here, totally normal. That's what we want. But if I say I'm going to the right and I feel a pinching pain in my right, that's what we call a closing angle joint pain. And I don't want to push through that. I want to let off a little bit and kind of go around it. Never push through. So that's our neck. Now we're going to go down to our scaps. My scaps can move in 4 different ways. I like to put my hands down to my side here. My scaps can go up, back, down, and forward. The reason I keep my hands glued to my side is because they were out, I'd be using my shoulders to help me move too, and I just want that motion to come from my scaps. So again, up, back, down, forwards. Biggest one to watch out for is when we go back, make sure you don't pop that rib cage out to give yourself a little bit more range of motion. 2 laps each way. 2 laps clockwise, 2 laps counterclockwise. And that's our scaps. Now we're going to move on to our shoulder. Opposite hand has a fist, creating that tension. I got a nice little belly breath here, okay? I'm not holding my breath, but I got my stomach tight, like I'm about to get punched in the gut. So nice tight stomach, taking my other hand, thumb up. I want to go up as high as I can, bringing my bicep up by my ear. Okay, when I get to the top, I don't want to give myself more range by popping my rib cage out. See all that new range I just gained? But when I keep that rib cage down, here, that's my honest shoulder flexion. So from there, I hit this roadblock. I want to internally rotate my humerus bone, okay? I don't want to just rotate my forearm. I want to rotate this bone right here. So I rotate, looking at my elbow pit, making sure it's turning away. I internally rotate as far back as I can. When I end, my knuckles are facing my thigh. Going back, thumb up to the sky as far as I can, hit that roadblock. Now I externally rotate, bringing bicep back by my ear. Coming back down, that's 1. We have 2 each arm. That's our shoulders. Moving on, we go to our elbows. Okay, I want this motion just to come from my elbows. My elbows can rotate. So we want to make sure that we're getting some good rotation in there. So I start with my palms facing me. Palms go away. Come back to me. Go away. After I do a couple of those, I add a little bit more motion there. So now I go down. Palms facing down. Rotate palms up. Bring them back up, palms away, back down. You can switch up, you can leave those palms down, bring them back up, rotate your palms towards us, come back down, rotate, up, rotate, and down. Now we're gonna do our wrists. Wrists are a little bit tricky. It's a really, really weird one if you're not used to doing it. So, to make it a little easier on myself, I'm gonna grab my forearm here. I want to imagine that I got a piece of scotch tape on the back of my hand, so if I was to curl my fingers, that tape would come off. So I'm here, I've got my wrist. I want to go towards my pinky. Down and around as far as I can. I want to go towards my thumb. We don't have as much room going towards our thumb side, so don't feel like you're going to get a lot of range of motion. Coming up, all the way back towards me, and back around. We're going to do 2 laps each way, so then we'll go back towards our pinky, bring it back around us, towards our thumb, and back down. Biggest thing is you don't want your fingers going all crazy. You want to keep that nice and flat the whole time. So 2 each way, each wrist. From there, so now we've done our neck, our scaps, our shoulders, our elbows, and our wrists. We're almost done with our upper body. From there, we're going to grab a nice wide stance. I'm going to get a little bit of a squat in there. What that does is it's going to lock down my legs because I just want to do my thoracic spine, my upper back region. Okay, so from there I want to think about I'm spinning on an axis that's my lower body here, okay? So here, sitting down, feet are nice and wide, got a little bit of a squat, I'm going to cross my arms. From there, I want to segment my spine down. I don't have that much flexion. So there, that's about my end range when it comes to flexion without getting my hips involved. I want to rotate, turning my chest open. I want to dip my shoulder into some side flexion. From there, I open my collarbones up to the sky, get that thoracic extension in there, dip to the other side, rotate, and bring it back around. We'll do 2 laps each way, so going the other way, rotate, dip the shoulder, collarbones to the sky, dip to the other side, rotate, and bring it back down. And that's how we're going to do our thoracic rotation. Now we're going to move into some spinal segmentation. So we have 24 different vertebrae in our back. Okay, we have 7 cervical, 12 thoracic, and 5 lumbar. I should be able to move those different muscles or different vertebrae at somewhat, I should be able to move them somewhat by themselves. Do I expect every single vertebrae to get most, maximum movement? No, but I definitely just don't want to chunk it all together. So we're going to do a cat-cow. When we do these in yoga, what tends to happen is people go like this. They move everything at once. They just chunk it all together. But I want to start with a nice flat table. From there, I want to use my hamstrings and my butt to pull my pelvis down, pulling myself into lumbar flexion. From there, I want to go piece by piece, vertebrae by vertebrae, just pushing up, getting that thoracic flexion. And then I tuck my chin to my chest to finish. From there, I want to turn the other way, so now I'm arching the other way, turning my hips down, going piece by piece. Make sure you get that thoracic in there. And then I want to end with my looking up to the sky. Another lap, start at my butt, start pulling my back slowly, piece by piece, and chin goes to the chest to finish. One big thing is I don't want to get a lot of scat movement here, so I don't want a lot of protraction and retraction. What tends to happen is people drop their chest. If my chest height changes, I know I'm using too much scapula. So make sure that our chest height stays the same and we're just getting thoracic flexion and extension. Segmenting that spine, I like to do it about 4 or 5 times there. Make sure I get my spine moving. It's important we give our spine some love. We honestly don't give it as much love as it needs. From there, so we've done neck, shoulders, scaps, elbows, wrists, thoracic spine, and then we even segmented our spine. Now we are going to do a hip car. So from here, we can do them standing. If you like, you can hold this wall for a little bit of balance, or you can use a rack to hold yourself and get a little more feedback. I'm going to use this handy dandy dowel. You can grab a wooden one, PVC one, doesn't matter. Either way, I'm just using it as balance. So I'm here. I want to take my hips through their full range of motion. So I bring my knee up as high as I can. Just moving at my hips, I want to go out as far as I can. From there, now I want to do all rotation. So all it is me rotating my heel above my knee, internally rotating, getting that heel outside my knee and scraping across. Now we're halfway, we're going to go back. So now we kick back as far as we can. Biggest thing is you don't want to arch that lower back as you're kicking it back. I want the motion to just come from my hips. Pull back using my hamstrings and my butt. From there, I rotate using all external rotation the whole time. That's probably going to be the crampiest part. And bringing it back in. 2 each side. So if you need to, switch dowels, switch hands on the dowel. Knee up, out as far as we can. Internally rotate. Bring it out and around, scrape that knee across. Now we kick it back using our butt and our hamstrings. Externally rotate. Bringing that hip all the way through, moving it through all of its ranges of motion. That's super important that we take it through all its range of motion, because just like our shoulder, we have a huge, huge amount of motion coming from our shoulders and our hips. So we want to make sure that we're touching on all of that motion. From there, we're going to sit down, we're going to do our knees. So I like to grab right here, right above my knee. I have my toe pulled up towards my shin. Now watch my tibia bone here, okay, in relation to my knee. My knee stays here. I rotate my tibia out, so now I have a little bit of tibial rotation. That's external. Now I want to internally rotate. We don't have nearly as much internal as we do external, but we should still have some. So notice it's just coming from my shin. I'm rotating on that heel. I want to think about not even having an ankle anymore. I don't want to see a bunch of ankle movement like that. Okay, toes pull back, it's all one complex now. From there, once you get pretty good at that, we can externally rotate, kick that leg out, internally rotate at the top, bring it back down, externally rotate, come up, keep it externally rotated, come down, internally rotate, kick it up, keep it internally rotated, external rotate, and come back down. Hit 3 or 4 of those, then we can come down to our ankle. Okay, we're not in gym class just doing ankle circles all fast anymore, okay? I want to use all my range of motion. So I want to get that eversion all the way down to that plantar flexion, inversion, all my dorsiflexion. Should be this slow this whole time. Make sure those toes aren't going crazy in there. And we're going to do 2 or 3 laps each way, each ankle. So make sure we're doing that on both knees and both ankles. From there, if you're wearing shoes, you can kick them off, because now we're going to get some toe movement in there. So, without rolling to the outsides of my feet or letting my arches collapse, I want to keep my other toes down, raise up my big toe. Set it down, raise it up. I want to do about 5 or 6 of these. Then I'll keep my big toe down as I raise up all my other toes. Set them down, come back up. 5 or 6 of those. Then I want to bring all my toes up. Set my big toe down. 5 or 6 times of that. Set my other toes down, keeping my big toes up. And once you get really good, you can start playing the piano with your feet, going from your little toes all the way to your big toes. And that is our full morning routine, guys. It's like brushing your teeth. It won't gain you crazy amounts of range of motion, but it's going to make sure that we maintain the range of motion we have. Okay? It's a daily practice. Make sure you incorporate it every day. Our joints crave movement. They just want to move. So please, please make sure that you're doing this. Make sure you get it in some point during the day. Like I said, it doesn't all have to be right in the morning. That's the best time to do it. But as long as you get it done throughout the day and you add that motion in throughout your day, you're going to get the benefits. Bonus points if you do it outside in the sun. That's our morning routine, guys.